just from the headline, they're just over it. What's it?
Well, that's a quote from Richard Reeves, who's been studying young men for quite a while and commenting on the politics that we're in right now. And it, in his words and the words of the young men that I met at Flagstock, is feeling a bit excluded from culture, feeling a bit forgotten, feeling a little bit talking down.
Demonized?
Demonized might be, I don't want to put words in people's mouth, Leland, but yeah, they do feel like they're the bad guy.
We had a number of the guys from Flagstock. So these were the young men who were fraternity boys who went and protected the American flag when it had been torn down at the University of North Carolina. There was a fundraiser that went viral online. $500,000 was raised. We had a couple of them on the show, and John Rich, country star, said, hey, I'm going to do a concert for him. So you went down to the concert.
I did. And in furtherance of your point, and in fairness to it, the Harris campaign has picked up on this. They've done their, White Dudes for Harris ads, which, does say that I know you're tired of being told you're the bad guy. So, yes, I went down to the show, and it was, I think, as promised, very fertile in thought and maybe what the future might be for politics.
You just said that Harris did White Dudes for Harris. We looked at the DNC's website, which has a whole list of intersectional groups that they serve. African Americans, ethnic Americans, Latinos, Native Americans, rural Americans, women. The only group that's not mentioned in that is men. The White Dudes for Harris, are these the white dudes that frat stars and young American men are idolizing and looking up to?
Well, I mean, look, I can't really say, but I will say that the thing that I heard over and over from young men was that they kind of felt like they just get handed a list of things not to do, and they very rarely received the message of empowerment that we sort of wisely decided was a good thing to send to young women for years and years. So I think the feeling is just kind of being ignored, and here is Donald Trump, who's marketing very aggressively to them, and no one else seems to be selling to them quite the way he has been.
Yeah, you said it was interesting, and I thought your piece was absolutely fascinating. We link to it in War Notes. That's our daily newsletter that goes out every day. It converted male frustration into a movement. So this frustration already existed. Donald Trump tapped into it. Scott Galloway on CNN talking about it. Take a listen.
Among Gen Z and millennial men, they're very supportive of gender equality. So it's not that they're moving towards the Republican Party. They feel abandoned by the Democratic Party. When you are purposely and explicitly advocating for 76% of the population, are you advocating for them, or are you discriminating against the 24%? And that's how I think a lot of young men feel. Quite frankly, they just don't feel seen by the Democratic Party.
Fair critique?
Absolutely. I mean, at Flagstock, we saw these stars, mostly kind of Gen X stars, and they made their pitches for their policy agenda. And a lot of times, it didn't really hit with the men. It was just like they just seemed self-aware that they were a group of people and they had something in common, and yet no one was willing to recognize them as people whose opinions were valid. That was the impression I got. It was group feeling, less policy feeling.
What are the women like at these events? Because there is a group of women who, I think young women, who are attracted to these kinds of men, is there not?
Well, can I tell you the truth?
Please.
There weren't that many women at this event.
Okay.
There were some Hooters waitresses volunteering their time.
Okay.
There were some women I met who were there because they wanted to stand with Israel. But this was an event for the boys, by the boys, performed by the boys.
Right. So John Rich there, he trolled the crowd with false disdain they might associate with liberal pundits. You guys all live in your mama's basement and you're playing video games all day, right? He answered the question for them shortly after. No, you're going to college and you want to build a family and a business and chase the American dream, with, quote, clear 1960s overtones. Is that what this is really about?
Well, I think that it's clear to me that what's interesting about the modern conservative movement, or at least what we see at something like Flagstock, is it's a lot of people who aren't necessarily nakedly political, but they're all in the same room, and oftentimes we see people like Donald Trump in the room with them. Sometimes it feels more like a counterculture and less like a movement with ideas.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.